Hey there, gang. This is an unboxing video, and an all Golden Age comic books unboxing. So this is actually part 2. Part 1 will be linked in the description below so you can catch up. But otherwise, let's not waste any time. Please like, share, subscribe, and right after the titles, we'll pick up where we left off. So stick around. We're going to have some fun. Oh, well, okay, now we're switching gears. So this is Walter LANTZ, because there's Andy Panda again, although he's not looking very on model. Raggedy Ann and Andy, New Funnies. I think New Funnies was a DELL book. Mutt and Jeff, that's a DC book. 26, Mutt and Jeff were a long-running comic strip. That is not Crazy Cat, but it looks like him a little bit. More Walter LANTZ New Funnies. More Andy Panda. And here's Woody Woodpecker. Oswald the Rabbit. Homer Pigeon. I don't remember Homer Pigeon. Oswald kind of looks like Thumper, doesn't he? Nancy and Fritzy Ritz. This is actually a Comics on Parade book. How to do the minuet. I think you're doing it wrong, Sluggo. Here's another Looney Tunes. Some of these are kind of rough with water damage, but they are 45, 55, 65, 75, 95, 05, 15, and almost 80 years old. Had to do that on my fingers. All right. So here we go. Here's some superheroes for you. I knew there wouldn't, if these were Golden Age, there wouldn't be a lot of superhero books because they would have gone straight to CGC. But the Fawcett books, the Marvel family, they don't do very well for us on eBay. And by very well, I mean not anywhere near their book value. And it used to be that the Marvel family, the Fawcett books, those were mainstays of the collecting hobby. But in the past 15, 20 years or so, I think maybe as the people who loved Captain Marvel, the original Captain Marvel, as kids in the 40s and into the 50s, they are, well, no, they're not just aging out, they're dying out. And as that has happened, demand for these books has gone kind of way down. And there's nothing currently really in the marketplace that's driving demand for these books. There are no really regular archival collections of this stuff, at least not at a price point anyone can afford. And the movie came and went. I mean, that's the thing about movies. I mean, you get a SHAZAM movie every 2 or 3 years. And, the next movie, all the kids in that first movie, they're going to be too old to even play their parts anymore. So, there's very little marketing in between the movies because it's, spikes and valleys as far as marketing opportunities. That's why I argue that AT&T, Disney, they need to keep publishing their comics because that keeps the product visible, which keeps the IP viable. So anyway, there's not a lot that's really driving Captain Marvel popularity. This is Marvel Family number 4, by the way. So it's a shame because, it wasn't that long ago that, Fawcett Captain Marvel books were hot. But they just don't really move that well for us. And I have to imagine that that's not just us. Here's another one, Marvel Family number 17. This was in decent shape. And it's funny how they keep the art style even when they're together. This still looks like a Mac Rayboy drawing. This looks like C.C. Beck. National Comics. So that is from the Quality Comics group. And this was the home for Uncle Sam for a lot of years. But by this point, Sam's gone. And instead we've got the Barker as the main feature. So the Barker, like Aquaman could talk to fish, and the falcon can talk to birds. The barker, his superpower was he could talk to dogs. so, so, sorry, I thought I was going to be able to carry that on a little longer. I cracked myself up. I lost it. No, he was a carnival sideshow barker, and the stories were set in a circus, and here are some of his circus pals, and they had, comedy adventures. But the barker ended up running in National Comics, I think, longer than Uncle Sam did. Popular Comics, that's DELL, and more comic strip reprints, by and large. Smokey Stover, SMILIN Jack. These were all people you've probably never even heard of. Terry and the Pirates. Some of them I've never heard of. I know Felix. I know Skeezix. Skeezix is from Gasoline Alley. I wonder is Gasoline Alley, that comic strip, still being published? I don't know. But I have no idea who Dr. Bobs and Downwind are. I know Gump. The Gumps was a comic strip. Punch Comics. Who did Punch Comics? Is that Fox? I don't think so. But, oh no, right here. It's Harry A. Chesler. It's a Chesler book. And it's the world's greatest comics. Huh. OSWALD. This is a very early 4-color. 4-color number 21. Wow. It's got some water damage, though. Our Gang. Yep. So that is the Little Rascals. They were originally Our Gang. They only ever became the Little Rascals when all that stuff was repackaged for television. And the comic book is pretty late in the history of the Our Gang / Little Rascals. This is not a Ralph book. This is an S. Smith book. But that's Buckwheat. And look at the fat lips there. If you just didn't do that, you could still publish this today, because that's beautiful art. Walt Kelly actually did a lot of work on the Our Gang books, and this is number 11. That's Porky, and this guy you may not know. That is Froggy, and he appeared in only the last few years of the Little Rascals or Our Gang shorts, after Alfalfa and Spanky and some of the others had aged out. He came in, and his thing was that he talked in a voice like this, like he had a frog in his throat. And it's a sad story. He was actually hit and killed while riding his bicycle. I mean, it was after the Little Rascals Our Gang production had ended, but he was young. He was only like 13, 14. You'll have to look it up. But yeah, the curse of the Little Rascals that everyone talks about. Planet Comics, that is another Fiction House book. I like how the thing here is covering up her breasts. We wouldn't want to see that. What is this, number 49? Porky Pig, and this is actually 4-color number 156, Porky Pig and the Phantom. Porky Pig was actually the big early star of the Warner Brothers cartoons. They didn't have much luck. I think Bosco was their first character, and then Porky Pig caught hold, but then he soon got eclipsed by Bugs and Daffy and the others. But he was the initial big star. This book is rough. This probably would have gone to CGC if it was in anything close to not beat to hell. But there's Plastic Man for you, and Woozy Winks, number 68. Popeye, and there's a 4-color number 168. Popeye loves his spinach. Super Duck. That's an Archie comic. Super Duck, number 17. The Cockeyed Wonder. All right. Smilin Jack. 4-color 149, actually. And again, some racist caricatures. And I'm kind of afraid with the way that eBay banned the sale of these Dr. Seuss books that, and okay, the owner of the copyright has decided they're not going to publish these books anymore because they think, they've got racist stereotypes in them, and maybe they do, and maybe they don't. I'm not going to argue that. And sure, they've got a right to, decide whether or not they're going to publish the things they own. But for eBay to decide that you can't even buy and sell them anymore, when, people buy and sell Nazi paraphernalia, and these books you buy and sell. And so, is somebody going to, if we try and sell this book on eBay, well, not try, we're going to. If somebody sees the listing and complains about that, will eBay ban these books? Will they ban us for trading in racist material? I don't know. Sparkle #1. Well, you know what? And that's in pretty decent shape. That might be like a 4 or 5, maybe even a 5. I'll have to look that up, because just being a #1, Sparkle Comics #1 probably should have gone to CGC. That's Nancy, by the way. Super Comics, that's a DELL book. I think that's Dick Tracy Jr. Or, no, it's Smitty. Never mind. Star Spangled Comics. Wow, so that's a DC book. The Guardians and the Newsboy Legion, which Newsboy Legion was a Kirby kid gang, kind of like the Rangers we saw before, although I would say the Rangers are more the imitators. Neat. Number 46. So who else would have been in here at this time besides the Guardian and the Newsboys? Robin would eventually take over this book, and then it would get taken over by Tomahawk. Well, I told you. So the Newsboys are gone, or at least not on the cover anymore by this point, number 72. We've got Robin, had his own feature. And here he's Jungle Robin. And new favorite, Tomahawk. I wonder how new. Probably isn't his first appearance, but actually I think he first appeared in his own title. I don't think he appeared anywhere else before. So this is not Tina #11. I believe it's A1 #11. Although A1 was kind of like 4-color, and then it was a different thing every issue. But it carried an actual A1, and in the indicia inside it would say an A1 book. It would say Tina in parentheses A1 #11. So there you go. Target Comics. I don't know if I can remember right off the top of my head what company did Target Comics, or even who might have appeared in it. TERRY-TOONS. I think this is a Marvel/Timely book, because I think that's Ziggy Pig, and that's probably Silly Seal. But TERRY-TOONS is Paul Terry. Is that his name? The guy who did Mighty Mouse. Tip Top Comics, number 129, with Nancy and Fritzy Ritz. Probably not actually by Ernie Bushmiller. Maybe, but I doubt it. Top Secrets. Oh, this is another one I'll have to check the GCD for and see if it's listed. This actually might be Fat Picture Stories is the actual title. Don't know. I'll have to look that up. All right. We're down to our last stack. True Comics. And that was, true to its word, all nonfiction stuff. There you go, number 58. Thrilling Comics. Princess Panther. So this is, Princess Panther was, well, the company went by several names. We know them today by Nedor, Nedor, although they also were called Superior, I think was another name, and Better was another name. And I think they've appeared most recently, of course they're all public domain by now, all the characters who appeared in the Nedor books, but they included the fighting Yank and the guy with the skull and crossbones on his chest. I'm forgetting his name. But anyway, they all appeared most recently in the Tom Strong books put out by DC. And I think there was Princess Panther was in that as well. So she's like, you know, Sheena or not She-Ra. Who else am I thinking? Who's another jungle queen? Anyway, oh, Adventure Comics. Now look at this. I just sent this one to CGC. This is pretty early Superboy. Superboy started out in More Fun Comics. I think More Fun number 101. Appeared there for a handful of issues and then moved over to Adventure Comics with, I want to say 103? Might have that wrong. But anyway, this is pretty early in his run. And this issue also has Green Arrow, Johnny Quick, Shining Knight, Aquaman. Holy crap. That's a good book. That's a good book. Ooh, another Golden Age DC. All Flash. So, Flash appeared in Flash Comics, which was an anthology title that he shared billing with Hawkman. They would flip every other issue. One or the other would be the cover feature. But Flash proved popular enough that he then had his own title, which was All Flash, because Flash Comics was the anthology that had him and other heroes, including Hawkman, but All Flash was, as the title says, just Flash stories. So, anyway, that's number 28. He cleans up another racket. Huh. I just sent that to CGC too, except for the, there's a rust on the staple here. That's pretty heavy. You can see that. Western Bandit Trails. Well, there's something I've never seen or heard of. That's another one that oh, look, Matt Baker. Matt Baker's a great artist. Black, by the way, if you didn't know, he was, I don't know if he was the first or for years the only black artist working in comic books. He's been billed that way. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Not that his skin color makes a bit of difference. He was just a really great artist. A lot of people really to this day love and collect Matt Baker books. So anyway, Western Bandit Trails is something I've never heard of, and I'll have to look that up and see if it's in the CGC. CGC. Let me back up. Beep, beep, beep. That's me backing up. Let's go to this so that it'll look like not so big a jump cut when I cut my stupidness out. What was I even saying? I will have to look up in the GCD, the Grand Comics database, and see if this book is listed and if they have the full contents listed. That might be something else where I might have a chance to add some info to the database. And now we're out of the Golden Age. We are into the Silver Age. This is the first full appearance of Adam Warlock, still called just him. So Adam Warlock is listed as, appearing in Fantastic Four 66 and 67. That's a bit of a misnomer. His origin story starts in 66 and he's just in a cocoon. And then in 67, at the end of that story, he breaks out of the cocoon and it's essentially just a cameo. So this Thor 165, this is his actual first full appearance. So kind of sort of that's the one you want if you're into Adam Warlock. And this is the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon, Incredible Hulk 271. So it looks like we're going to finish out this box with some more recent stuff. Thor 337, first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And we spoke about Uncle Sam earlier. And this is actually the last issue of Uncle Sam, number 8. Huh. With number 9, this became Black Hawk. And then the Black Hawk title ran for years and years. And then in 1954, when DC bought out Quality, Black Hawk was one of the 4 titles that they continued. And then Black Hawk, ran into the late 60s and was revived in the 70s and has been revived periodically ever since. But you'll see in the guides that Black Hawk starts with number 9. That's because the first 8 issues were Uncle Sam. And so there he is. And I forget who the kid's name was. Oh, right here, Buddy. Buddy, buddy, buddy. My buddy. Take him everywhere that I go. My buddy. Teach him everything that I know. My buddy and me, we can climb up a tree. My buddy. That, if you're not old enough, you have no idea. My buddy was it was like a boy's doll in the early 70s. I mean, this gender fluid stuff is not new. And so in the I don't know if it was 70s or 80s or exactly when it was. I never had one. But My Buddy was like a boy's doll, not an action figure. Boys collected action figures, but they tried to market an actual doll for boys. And so that was the song from the commercials. I never had or wanted a My Buddy, but to this day I still remember that damn commercial. So anyway, that's that book. That was fun. That's a lot of Golden Age stuff I've never seen before. I hope you enjoyed that. So anyway, please come back for the next video. Until then, goodbye, good luck, and please be good to each other.